So in October of 2019, my parents planned a family trip to Puerto Rico. Now, I was absolutely thrilled for this opportunity. I already loved all of my Puerto Rican family in the States, so for me, the idea of going on a trip with them, plus meeting my extended family that lived on the island, was beyond thrilling. At my school, I'm the only Latina in my grade. I have this sort of virtual monopoly on Hispanicness. I can say a few phrases in Spanish and show up at the potluck with some rice and beans, and the kids are like, wow, she's really cool. So this going to Puerto Rico was going to be my opportunity to spread my wings, to explore my identity. So fast forward a few months, and it's Christmas Eve. We've just flown in. We're unpacking at my aunt's house, and I hear my parents talking about a Christmas Eve party that's happening that night, or Nochebuena, which, if you don't know, is a Puerto Rican festivity that sort of culminates all the hard work of the year into a night of festivity. So as soon as I hear that this party is happening, I grab my party dress, I grab my makeup, and I run to the bathroom, slam the door, and I start getting ready. Now, I am going the full 9 yards. I have penciled in my eyebrows. I am doing dark eyeshadow. There is rouge. There is a red lip. The waterline is perfect. And my party dress is this little knee-length, flowy number covered in huge toucans across the front, which I thought was very apropos for Puerto Rico. So as I'm putting the finishing touches on my look, I hear the doorbell ring, I hear people start to enter, talking to each other, snatches of conversation, I hear the music start playing, I'm hearing bomba y plena, and I'm just so glad to hear the sounds of what I think is my people. So I open the bathroom door a little bit, and I peer out, and I am floored to see how many people managed to pack themselves into that tiny living room. So I take a deep breath, and I open the door all the way, and I strut my way down the hallway, and I'm looking for a particular cousin that I've heard of from my parents. I know that she's around my age, and we both like theater, and I think, great, we're gonna hit it off. So I'm sort of squeezing my way between the crowds, and I make eye contact with her, and I smile, and start walking towards her, and she smiles back at me, and she opens her mouth and starts speaking in rapid-fire Spanish. And I just stare at her with my mouth sort of open, because somehow throughout the entire process of preparing for this trip, I had forgotten the important fact that my family in Puerto Rico would speak Spanish. Like Spanish. I mean, I got like prima and Navidad and hola, but nothing that was going to give me any actual clue to what she was saying to me. So I kind of collect myself and I go, ay, prima, perdóname, ay, necesito hacer algo, un momento, por favor, and I run back into the hallway. I immediately whirl around and crash into my mom, who's coming out of the back bedroom, and when she looks at my face, she can see that something is wrong because the perfect waterline from before has migrated to somewhere slightly north of my nostrils. So of course, she's been speaking Spanish the entire time she's here, so when she goes to ask me how I'm doing, it comes out as, ay, ¿qué fue, mija? ¿Estás bien? And that was the last Spanish straw for me. I start to sob, and I go, Mom, can you please speak in English? And then I rush past her back into the bathroom that I was in not 5 minutes before. And I sit on the counter, and I look at myself in the mirror, and all the things I've done to get myself ready feel stupid. I was putting myself together to look the perfect Puerto Rican daughter, niece, cousin, what have you, and I couldn't even speak the language of my country. I was a poser. So the party continues, and eventually I leave the bathroom. I come out, I serve myself some food, I sit in the corner, and I listen to my family sing karaoke songs that I don't know the lyrics to. Well, this moment certainly didn't ruin the rest of my trip. I had similar hiccups along the way. For instance, I'd go to a restaurant, and I'd try to order in Spanish, but I'd make some mistake that would let the waiter or waitress know that, oh, she doesn't speak Spanish, we'll speak to her in English. And I appreciated their empathy, but every time it happened, it was another blow that I couldn't speak my native language enough to even order myself food. I would look around and I would see tourists with their sunburnt foreheads, with their tropical shirts, not so unlike my own toucan dress. And every time it felt like I was defeated yet another time. So, when I came back to Minnesota, I decided that would be no more. I pulled out of Latin 4 at my school, and I went to Spanish 1. And I worked through that, and I took accelerated courses, and I worked with my dad over the summer, and I took AP Spanish. And while today, I would not say I'm fluent, I'm certainly proficient, and I'm very glad to be here. And while I haven't been back to Puerto Rico since that time 4 years ago, I hope that soon I can return to the island and I can show my family all the language that they motivated me to learn for their sake, but mostly for mine. Because now when someone asks me, "Are you Puerto Rican?" I can say, "Yeah, I am." But there's actually substance to back up that statement. Thank you.
Let's hear it again for Edie